Hi, my name is Beenish Mahmood and I'm from the Mom.Ca portal. The Mom.Ca is a community portal in which women from all across Canada come together to share their ideas and information. Iram Zahra is our founder and I do interviews. Today I have with me a lovely lady called Hiba Hamed. Hello, Hiba.
Hello, Beenish. How are you?
Yes, I'm good. Thank you so much for joining our interview, Hiba. Now, before I start the interview, I just want to give a brief introduction about Hiba Hamed. So, Hiba is a Canadian-born Lebanese. She was born in Ottawa and raised in Windsor. Hiba has her honors in arts and sciences, psychology and biological science, and her master in social work. Her main interest includes working with different individuals of the community for their health and wellness. She's hoping to get her PhD completed or enter into a medical school if God wills. Hiba, I hope I've mentioned everything in this brief.
Yes, everything is good.
Yeah. So Hiba, please describe your role as a mental health counselor. What do you
Okay,
do and where are you working and, you know.
yes. So currently I'm a volunteer ambassador with Canadian Mental Health Association in Windsor, Essex County. I have numerous hats I wear based on circumstances, knowing I have the skill set and being multilingual. So I speak in English, French, and Arabic. But my role would be to advocate, educate, and inspire different populations to overcome the challenges they face daily, whether it's anxiety, social phobia, obsessive compulsive disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, insomnia, and much, much more. Of course, I would apply evidence-based practice and seek professional development on a regular basis.
Okay, so Hiba, tell me, what does mental health mean to you? I know it's a diverse topic, but what does it mean to you in a brief introduction? Yeah.
When we speak about mental health, it always has physical health with it too. We cannot leave one or the other. They have to be working with one another. But when we talk about mental health, it is defined differently for different professions, whether nurses, doctors, social workers, psychologists, and so forth, but all come together as one to help support the community and clients we work with. When I hear mental health, I like to look at the balance between three factors: biology, psychology, and sociology of an individual. In other words, utilizing and integrating a biopsychosocial approach. So interacting the biology of the individual, the psychology, and the social aspect of the individual. To be brief, I do have a visual image, but biological would be something that the individual inherits from family or parents, looking at how the brain works, the nervous system. When we're talking about psychological perspective, we're looking at the emotions, cognition, and how the person behaves. And when we're looking at social aspect, we're looking at family, schools, the system, stress level, and basically how different cultures interact with one another.
Okay, that's a very good information. How did you get started with this profession?
It goes very back then when I was an undergrad at the University of Windsor. The profession of mental health found me. So I didn't find it, it found me.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yes. So it started through undergrad when I applied for work study. I'm a low income individual. I'm not rich, but I came from a low income family back then. It started when I was going to work study to gain funds to help me pay off for my tuition. And through my work study, I was selected to become a volunteer coordinator for Mental Health Awareness Week. From this opportunity, I was able to connect. Sorry?
That's wonderful. So you started as a volunteer. Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yes, beautiful. Yeah. It always starts as a volunteer and then it moves on to become something bigger and better.
Of course. So Hiba, tell me, what do you like the most about your work as a mental health counselor? What do you like the most?
It's a great question. I like many things as my work is rewarding and makes a positive change and impact to diverse, helpless, or hopeless, or even endangered populations. I like how I see the progress in the clients that I work with. For example, the clients who are isolated, who come as immigrants or refugees, who are stuck and not able to go out of their own box or out of their own way to try a new pathway or or getting out of their comfort zone. I always consider it as a butterfly effect, because we all start as caterpillars and then we move on forward and we build those wings to fly, right? So that's how I see it when I work with clients.
Okay, that's great. Can you provide a time when you provided effective care to an emotionally disturbed client of yours?
Yes, for sure. So I get clients from different ethnical backgrounds, ages, and groups.
Okay.
I had clients who have their ups and their downs. Sometimes the client would be happy, sometimes they would be very sad or depressed. I had clients who went through domestic violence and abuse. I personally would hear their story and help clear thoughts and what is triggering in their situation. I feel it is important for the client to relive a certain experience to be able to solve and come at peace with oneself. And my main perspective, or my main idea for the individual, is their safety, protection, and security. That comes first.
Okay, so can you give some examples, like what do you suggest for self-care of an individual?
Yes, self-care, especially during the pandemic right now. We see that everyone's just isolated at home on the computer, not doing much, right? So self-care is super important, okay? From doing my master's in social work, I learned a lot of self-care techniques. If you have a mobile phone, you can definitely download some applications to help calm down the mind, be mindful, and so forth. Even doing word search or Tetris, playing Tetris, you know, those old traditional games, or doing puzzle. Those are good for the brain. I would also say going out for walks in the nature is very good, because the environment that you put yourself in, it brings you back to the basics, right? You need to remember the basics, and much, much more. I'm just looking at, when I think of self-care, I think of, what is your hobby? What do you like to do? If you understand what you like to do, you would be able to be more passionate and move your mind away from negativity.
Those are very important perspectives. Yeah. So what are some of the basic practices that you would suggest to your clients for taking care of your mental health, apart from the ones that you have mentioned, like, you know, you mentioned getting a walk and hobbies, and so are there any other on the medical, from the medical point of view?
With regards to techniques and practices, what do you mean to help them?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So I would definitely use active listening. It's very important to listen to the individual and see how they're going, and to empathize with them, right? To see how they're feeling, or put yourself in their shoes. Okay. I would also use techniques such as encouraging and motivating clients on what they're doing right. So for example, if I give them homework, if they do it well, I give them a reward. Okay, that kind of stuff, to help praise them. What else is there? That's pretty much the technique that I use. Is more like active listening and empathizing.
Okay, so you get clients from diverse backgrounds, and what age group is very popular as clients for you? What is the most popular age group that you're dealing with?
I worked with youth, so ages 18 to 24. I worked with adults between, say, 25 to over 30. It's pretty interesting.
Can you also describe your role at Al-Nisa Homes? You mentioned that you have also worked at Al-Nisa Homes as a mental health counselor.
Yes, so I worked with Al-Nisa Homes as a mental health counselors, and I worked with women who are at risk, and with their children who are trying to escape endangered family situation, or they need protection or support from the community.
Oh, and that's great. Yes. That's great. Yeah. Hiba, what do you suggest for maintaining a healthy, balanced life? What are some tips from you?
There is many tips. Everyone is different, right? So it does, whatever works for me would not work for you, or what works for someone else will work for someone else, right? So I would definitely highly recommend journal writing, because sometimes people don't understand you, right? So it's very important to be your own. We're all on this journey, right? We're all on this pathway that is different. So journal writing would allow you to express yourself freely without any judgment. You can write anytime, in the morning or in the evening. That's what I would highly recommend. is a journal writing, because it helps you reflect on your thoughts, what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and you can make those changes with time, right?
Yeah.
Those are one
And
things.
those are a few things. Yeah. Are there any possible medical treatments to mental health for her mental health?
Definitely, I feel that there is a stigma with mental health. Not many people seek help from mental health experts, because they, as a Lebanese myself, or first generation Lebanese-Canadian, that stigma of, oh, she's gonna go seek mental health from a professional like a psychologist. She might be crazy or she might be sick, right? So it's very important to listen, remove yourself from distractions or people who are not allowing you to grow, and to go seek those professional help, because you never know. If you don't try, you don't see what's going to happen. You
Yeah.
might seek up an expert and they would refer you to a group of people who have similar situation as you.
So when should we seek expert advice? What signs are we to see in ourselves when we should be reaching an expert?
I mean, looking at the biopsychosocial approach, if you feel that you're not being yourself, or you're changing the way you're feeling, you're depressed, you're isolated, nobody's there to listen to you, right there, I would say go seek professional help, because your state of mind is changing, right? You need someone to talk to. You need someone to vent to.
That's wonderful. And how can clients approach you, Hiba? How can our community and clients, whoever need to approach you, how can they approach you?
Yes, so I'm currently working on a website and a logo to have launched soon, inshallah, before I turn 30. So I'm 29, I'm turning 30 soon in 2022. So inshallah, hopefully I'll be able to do a website, and people can reach out to me to my email, website, and so forth. But for now, I just have my social media at Hiba_M as in mother _Hamed, or through LinkedIn, professionally speaking, like we have discussed. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And last question for you, Hiba, is there any message you would like to give our community for self-check of a healthy mind?
Yes, so I would highly recommend removing self from toxic space. For example, friends, family, the news that can be negative, and staying on social media for quite some time. It is essential to place oneself first. So you are priority, you come first. And I highly recommend, I tell always my clients and everyone I see, moderation is key to everything between your personal and your professional life, whether you're eating, you're sleeping, your love, work, pray, whatnot. Moderation is key. A little bit of everything is good, but keep it moderate.
Keep it moderate. Those are some wonderful advices that you have given to our community, Hiba. And thank you very much for coming and speaking to us about the topic. Many of us are not aware, and in this Mental Health Awareness Month, we're trying to raise awareness so more people are aware. It was lovely speaking to you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
No problem.